Hello, Mr. Smith. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Always. We're waiting for another panelist, Michael Spence, and audience. So if you could give us a few minutes to wait for Miss Williams, then we'll be getting started.
Okay. All right. Okay. Bye.
Hello, Miss Williams.
Hi. How are you?
How
Sorry,
are you?
I don't know how to work this thing,
No, it's okay.
but I'm here. Hi, guys. Happy MLK Day.
Happy MLK Day. We're excited to have you here, you and Michael Spence.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, my name is Samaya Samuel. I am a 17-year-old junior currently attending Ewing High School in Ewing, New Jersey. And I would like to give a few words on how Dr. King has inspired me. So Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has inspired me to encourage equality and to respect those of different races, genders, colors, and religions. I know not to judge others by their outside appearance, instead for who they are on the inside. Dr. King stood up for what he believed in, and he constantly worked to create a nation of unity and hope. I learned that if you have the desire to achieve something, you must fight and work hard for it. We must have faith and work together to do exceptional things. And now, here's my counterpart, Jatai Foster.
Hi, you guys. My name is Jatiah Foster, and I grew up in Newark, New Jersey. However, I currently live in Pennsylvania. I study criminal justice and psychology at the University of Pittsburgh. And just as my counterpart Samaya so eloquently put, Martin Luther King embodied more than hope for equity and inclusion, but he also exuded fearlessness and taught the world how to overcome obstacles of oppression with great bravery. King's nonviolent tactics were purposed to teach us not to cower in the face of our subjugators, but audaciously demand our humanity to be recognized. And so the diplomatic strategy of using nonviolence has exposed the true aggressors and laid the blueprint of inspiration for generations to come, just like our two panelists, Michael Spence and Jennifer Williams.
Well, that was a nice introduction.
It's hard for me. It's like I'm coming after that one.
More to come. We'd like to introduce you to.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm blessed to be here. Excited to be here.
So I would like to
Definitely.
give a little background on Jennifer Williams.
Oh, sorry. Am I supposed to say something or?
No, Samaya is going to
Oh,
introduce
okay. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to read a bio.
Okay.
So Jennifer Williams was raised in South Orange, New Jersey, an upscale suburb just outside of New York City. She attended the University of Maryland and Fairleigh Dickinson University, and she graduated cum laude with a bachelor's degree in political science. After graduating, Jennifer married NBA star Eric Williams and became a basketball wife. Growing up, Jennifer always dreamed of traveling the world and being an entrepreneur. She obtained her real estate in 2005, and she sold high-end property in New Jersey for several years. Feeling the need to give back, Jennifer also co-founded Project Save the World, which is a charity that supports many different causes such as breast cancer, youth violence, and disaster relief. The goal of Project Save the World is to save the world one mission at a time. With her love for fashion, Jennifer founded her online boutique, Classy Girl Wardrobe, that offers fun, chic, and affordable clothing for women. On the celebrity front, Jennifer has been on 7 seasons of VH1's Basketball Wives. The series offers viewers a behind-the-scenes look at the glamorous life of being the wife of a former NBA star, and at the same time, the challenges that go along with it. Since airing in 2010, Basketball Wives has been one of the highest-rated programs on VH1. Her love for the camera has propelled Jennifer into pursuing acting and hosting as well. On the acting front, Jennifer has studied with Tracy Moore, Mariska Phillips, and presently Tasha Smith. She recently appeared in 40 to Life with Leon Robinson and The Choir Director, written by New York Times bestseller Carl Weber. Jennifer has also appeared in the feature film Supermodel about the struggles of minorities in the fashion industry, which premiered at the American Black Film Festival in June 2015. She has taken on theater as well as appearing in the stage play The Other Side of the Pillow, which was written by Zane, who is a New York Times bestseller also. Her latest movie project, Indictment, which she has a starring role in, will be out this summer. Jennifer is divorced from NBA star Eric Williams, but despite the personal setback, Jennifer is looking forward to a bright future in her business endeavors and career path. After living all over the country, she currently resides in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you.
And now I'm going to introduce Mr. Michael Spence. And based on his accolades, I believe that Michael Spence has proven to be a student of tutelage of Martin Luther King. So Michael Spence is an innovative communicator with a true gift to not only connect with his audience, but impact them as well. He's from Orange, New Jersey, where he graduated from Montclair State University with a degree in communications. His motivation to empower lives stems from his surroundings and passions to help others unlock their gifts. Spence uniquely ties his life story with the audience's needs to enter a message that moves the listener to act on their dreams and unlock their potential. Michael has worked with the NBA, NJEA, Super X Conference, as well as many other schools to empower the youth in education and leadership. Along with being a speaker and reaching a multitude of educational institutions, businesses, churches, and other organizations in his career path, Michael is also a proud father, a former captain of the men's basketball team at Montclair State. He's a youth pastor at Phillipsburg Alliance Church in Phillipsburg, New Jersey, and is an inspirational mentor as well. So give it up for our 2 panelists, you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
James and Michael Spence for being here with us for our 3 pointers of success in the classroom and, and in the global economy session. We are grateful to have such inspirational and amazing panelists. Also, we would like to say thank you to the audience that joined the session as well. We hope you enjoy.
Yes, I'm excited.
So I have one question for Ms. Jennifer Williams. Can you please tell us about Project Save the World and what inspired you to develop it?
So Project Save the World is a nonprofit foundation that I started with actually 3 other MBA wives. We just felt like we are so blessed, and we were looking to just give back, and we didn't want to support one particular cause because I feel like there's so many causes and people that need help. So we just decided that, whatever our heart spoke to us about, that's what we would support at that moment. So, for me, I'm just a firm believer in God blesses us so we can bless other people. And we have to continue to do that so we can continue to get our blessings. And sometimes, it's not always monetary. Sometimes it's lending your time. So, I think when I talk to people about doing things that are just supporting nonprofit or organization or a cause, I understand we're living in different times right now, and some people just, don't have money to give to causes, but, there's other things that you can do. You can, when I lived in LA, I would go to Skid Row and just help out with the homeless, give out packets, water. It's simple things, it doesn't always have to be something that is grand, but I truly believe that it is just a part of your being what you should do in helping other people. And that's something that my mother instilled in me. So I'm thankful for that lesson. And again, I truly believe that we're blessed and we have to bless other people.
Agree. Thank you for that.
That's beautiful.
I wanted to, I guess, further ask you or get further insight on the project. How do you utilize that project to encourage youth to pursue their careers, Ms.
Well,
Williams?
I think it's important to talk to the youth. You know, like doing things like this, having this type of platform, and people ask me to speak a lot. Like I wish I could go more into classrooms and speak to people. And you know, I talk to some of the youth, and they're like, they want to be on TV, and I'm like, no, you do not want to be me. You can be so much better. So I really try and encourage people to think outside the box, and you don't want to do what I do. Like trust me. But I think it's just important to speak to the youth. And sometimes, you know, like I said, I can't always go into classrooms, but I try and if I meet someone that I feel like I want to help them, I will give them my number and I'm like, listen, call me. And I can sort of be like a mentor, but like not officially. But my thing is, however I can help, if you just need to talk about whatever, I encourage them to just please reach out to me. And I don't have the answers for everything. I always say I'm a work in progress, but you know, I've lived a little, so I believe that I do have a little bit of insight, and I just try and help in whatever way possible. And like I said, I think just having conversations. I truly believe when you're young, that is you're building your foundation, and so you want your foundation to be solid, right? It's like building a house. You have to have a solid foundation, or else it's gonna crumble. So I think, you know, I'm a little seasoned. You know, I won't tell you guys how old I am, but I feel like I can definitely help out, and it might just be, you know, having a conversation. I think we always look and you want to see like something that's so big, and sometimes it can be the little things that mean a lot to people.
Right. And it definitely helps that, you know, a Black woman of your stature is on television. And so I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that Black people or Black women, young Black girls look up to you, especially with your accolades. But I wanted to ask you, Michael Spence, the same question, especially with your background and your expertise of reaching out to the youth. How do you best encourage youth to pursue their careers?
So it's kind of hard to go after Jen. She done killed it already. But I grew up I grew up between two cities, Irvington and Orange. I grew up in a single parent home, and all I ever wanted was a big brother. But my big brother lived in England, so I really didn't have time to really rock with him like that. Different mothers, same father. So I'll be honest, I went to the streets to find my big brother, and I told myself after seeing my boy one time, he was shot 8 times. I was supposed to be with him. My boy's 5'9" or 6'10". So if they shot my boy 8 times, they easily got me. I mean, you can't hit me with a gun. You don't need a gun. So but my mom was the one who told me not to go kill my boys that day. And I said to myself, after seeing my boy's mother crying in the hospital, I said I never wanted that for my mother. And what I really said to myself is that in moments, and one man told me this, he told me, Mike, when you're in the presence of youth, be what you wish you had when you were younger. And I always wish I had a big brother. So that's my goal, just to be a big brother, just to empower them, help them to see things that they probably couldn't see themselves. I believe our most valuable currency is time. You could give me $100, I could give you that $100 back. But once you give me an hour, I can never get an hour back. And I think that a lot of times we miss out on that. And sometimes we sit back and we talk to like famous people, celebrities, or people of affluence, and we ask, well, how did you get here? And I think the best thing you could probably ask anyone who's in your presence, is why did it take you so long? So I could learn from that, so I could not make the same mistakes you did, make the same bad decisions you did. And I could get there faster, because like that's the thing that we always need to learn. So I think that my goal is just to empower kids, to help them make their journey not easier, but better. I believe that there's nothing I could do to make your journey easier, but there's things I could do to help make it better. And if I can empower you and be the change that I wish I had when I was younger, I believe that's the main thing. I believe every last one of us have a gift inside of us. But a lot of us go to the grave with our gifts still inside of us. And my goal is to help everybody die empty. So that's my goal with the youth, and that's how I empower them every day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I think, your guidance and leading by example is definitely something that Black youth need in today's world. A lot of our leaders have become martyrs in a sense. So I think people like you and people like Miss Williams are definitely needed. I'd like to ask my constituent to ask the other question.
So I do have one for Miss Williams to start off. How do you define success?
For me, I think, a lot of people think success is monetary. And for me, I think success is being happy, because I feel like when you're happy, for me personally, when I'm happy, I can be creative. I feel like when I'm happy, I'm healthy. I make better decisions. And for me to be successful, I need to be all of those things. I need to be spiritually there. I need to be physically there. My mind needs to be right. So when I'm all of those things, I can put my mind to work, my body to work, and do the things that I need to do to be successful. So for me, my ultimate goal in being successful is basically making money when I'm sleeping. So that requires me to use my brain and to be creative. And like I said, when I'm not happy, I can't do those things. So for me, being successful means I'm happy because I'm able to do everything that I need to do to be successful.
Yes, I agree. Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
love that.
yeah, that message of self-love and self-preservation is definitely important when you're embarking on a journey, whether it be, career-wise or, relationship-wise. You have to remember yourself as an individual. And I'd like to, yeah, I like
It starts within, and it's like you have to make sure that you are okay before you can take care of anybody else or help anybody else. So everything for me is like it's internal, and when I'm not okay, I can't help anybody else. And I know a lot of people depends on me, so it's really important that I keep myself intact, whether it's mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Yeah, I think to add to that, Jen, what I love is that point is a lot of times, especially in this past generation, is a lot of us, we want to cater to everybody else without taking care of ourselves. And if you've ever been on the airplane, they always say, in case of emergency, there's going to be an air mattress that drops. But make sure you put yours on first before you try to take yourself somebody else. And a lot of us, we're going through life and we're taking care of everybody else, but then deep inside, we're dying. And you serve nobody no good if you're not good. So I think that, just taking care of yourself first is the most important thing. I think also searching why you don't want to take care of yourself and love yourself first is something that we also need to discover. Because a lot of times it's our lives are saying the message to us, and we just allow ourselves to actually hear the message, we'll get the answer.
Absolutely.
That was deep. That was definitely deep. I wanted to direct the question to you, Mr. Spence, about, how do you define success?
So I have two sons. My son's name are David and Zion. I've been blessed, honestly, like to speak at so many different places and work with so many different people, and like on a private level or a public level. And I think for me is it's not measured by what I have in the bank. It's not measured by how many followers I have or how many people I've reached. Now, don't get me wrong. These things help pay the bills. But I think that for me is when the people that are the closest to you have the best view of you. I think that's, for me, is success. It means nothing to me if I get on this Zoom call, and well, I'm sorry, what is this, Hopkins, or I don't want to get the platform wrong. It means nothing to me to go on this conference and motivate you guys. And if my sons hear this speech and they like, yo, you lying, that's not him at all. Like, no, if my sons could sit on this thing and say, nah, actually, my dad lives more than that. That's what matters to me most. And eventually when I get married, my wife said the same. So I think that that's the thing that matters the most to me. And I think that I never arrived at that point because I had a false perception of what success was. And I think that's when I had to start learning how to take care of me. And I think that one way I could put it is like this is, and his wife said, I had to work. She said, honey, I got to work. I got to go. I got to do my thing. And she said, but you have to watch our son. He was a 5-year-old boy. So she said, oh, he's okay, honey. I got you. I'll do it. So it's someone to play with his dad, but the dad had to do work as well. So the dad said to the son, hey son, can you go outside, play on the swings, do your thing, just give me some time to do this work, and I promise you, when I'm done, we'll play. So the son went outside, started playing on the swing, started going down the slide, he did everything, but then eventually he got bored. And he ran right back to his father. He said, Dad, I want to play with you. So then the father said, you know what? How about you watch your favorite movie? Go watch Lion King. Just give me some time, son. I promise you, when I'm done finishing this work, we'll play. So then the son started watching Lion King. All of a sudden, he got all into it, started singing the song, started saying, I just can't wait to be king. Lion King's still my movie. I still cry when they kill Mufasa. But then all of a sudden, he got bored. And he went right back to his father. He said, Dad, I want to play with you. So then the father got frustrated. He looked around the house. He happened to see this newspaper with the map of the world on it. He rips it up. He hands it to his son. He says, son, put this map of the world together. When you're done putting this map of the world together, I promise you we'll play. So the son said, okay, Dad. So he sat down at their own desk. And then the father took a deep breath, started doing his work. And in 5 minutes passed, he is done. So he expected to go back to his son and say, hey, son, you got the map of the world wrong. But to the father's amazement, the son actually got the map of the world right. So the father's confused, like, son, how did you get this map of the world together? Did you cheat? He said, nah, Dad, I didn't cheat. He said, well, did they teach you this in school? He said, nah, Dad, they never taught me this in school. So he said, how did you put this map of the world together? You're only 5. He said, Dad, I didn't put the map of the world together. However, on the back of the map was a man. And once I put the man together, I was able to put the world together. So I think that for me is when I put my world together, I'm able to put Mike together. But first I got to put Mike together first. And I think that the thing that we miss out is a lot of times is, for me, success started when I started putting me together. And that's when everything around me changed. So I always tell kids, if you want to change the world, the first person you have to change is yourself. And when you change yourself, the world changes.
Yes.
Wow.
That was very inspirational. Thank you for that. I wanted to ask you guys a follow-up question. You know, in a world that's so demanding, especially for young adults like myself, I have to balance work, I have to balance school. I'm currently studying for the LSATs to become an attorney, and then I still gotta, find the time to have a social life. So all of these, requirements of young youth, how do you best, make that message of self-preservation and self-interest penetrable, especially to Black youth?
You got it, Jen.
Okay. I think it just goes along with what I was saying earlier. And, I know Michael touched on this. I say time is your biggest asset that you can't get back. That's one thing that I always say. And so whether it's your time or somebody else's time, you don't want to waste it. So I think time management is really important. And, just making a to-do list, but also not forgetting about yourself. So yes, you might have all of these things to do, but you might need to pray first. You might need to meditate. You might need to read a devotional book or a motivational book, whatever. Make sure that you take care of yourself before you go out in the world and try and do all of these things. Because again, what we touched on earlier, if you're not okay, you can't help anybody else. But I do believe it's very important to take the time out to do that. So if you need time management, then you need to incorporate certain things in your day. And sometimes for me at night, I make a to-do list so I know I don't forget to do anything. But I definitely start my day off with prayer, and I ask God to give me my daily bread, whatever that is that I need for the day, to help me be successful, complete what I need to do for that day. Like, I will not get out of my bed unless I ask God for that, because I believe that He has to guide our steps. And that's just how I start my day. It's been successful for me. So I encourage other people to do it, because whoever your maker is, speak to him and ask for that guidance.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Oh, my turn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you want to, you don't have to.
So I think we touched on time so much. I think the most important thing we also miss out on is our circle. Your circle could be very draining. If you hang around the wrong people. I always tell the youth in my youth group program, I say, are you hanging around firelighters or firefighters? What I mean by that is we have this flame inside of us. It's our passion. And I believe the people around you should add fuel to the flame, not cast your flame out. And a lot of times we sit back and you got to really assess who you hanging around with. It's because the key to your self-preservation and key to staying 10 toes and you grinding it out and your eyebrows on fleek, hair on fleek, you know, you looking all good is sometimes it's just circle. And like I always tell people, if you want to show me how far you're going in the future, just show me who you're walking with today. And a lot of times we miss out on the fact that, yo, our circle could literally make or break us. Nipsey Hussle said it best. If you're the best in your circle, then you're not in your circle, you're in the cage. And we really missed out on that. And even in all aspects, even when it comes to our significant others, I think a lot of us, we always say, yo, the vibe was right. And a lot of times not the vibe was right, it's the void was right. A lot of times we pick our friends based on our dysfunction and not our destiny. So I think that it matters for us to like also consider our time, but also know who we're giving our time to. It's because a lot of people are not worth it. Some people are just worth a hello and a goodbye, and some people are just worth your time. You have to understand, are they in your life for a season or for a reason? Like, but just really understand who they are, because understand this, right? A pigeon and an eagle both have wings, but a pigeon can't fly as high as an eagle, and a pigeon doesn't eat what an eagle eats. If you ever see a pigeon, eagle, chances are that pigeon's about to be fooled. He's not about to be his friend. And I think that a lot of times we miss out on the fact that, yeah, you know what, like we're all living and breathing, but is that person called to walk this journey out with you? Are you hanging around pigeons or are you hanging around eagles? And I think that when you really sit back and assess that, I think it's easier to preserve yourself. But a lot of times, you know, everybody said, well, you know what, all my friends in my group, they all pigeons and I'm that one eagle. And I'm here to help you out with one thing. If you're hanging around 5 pigeons, that does not make you the one eagle. That makes you the 6th pigeon. So I think that understanding why did I even get in this circle? How did I even do in this? And I think that's the key to helping us do what we got to do. And one thing I will tell young ladies is a lot of times in society where they tell you need a man to validate who you are, I think that one thing I would tell a lot of young ladies is stop taking your crown off to make the peasants around you feel like royalty. You're a queen. And a lot of times you don't know who you're a queen because maybe around you it don't feel like royalty. But one thing that I always tell people to do is what I had to start doing is I started giving my mom and my sister flowers randomly. And my mom thought I did something wrong. She was looking at me like, Mike, what you do? Like, yo, like how much it's gonna cost? Like what happened? And I was just like, nah, Mom, I just wanna let you know how important you are to me. Like I just wanna let you know it's just because, period. And then you know, as I was walking away, she started giving me that look like, you sure? Ain't nothing happened. I was like, Mom, I promise you ain't nothing happened. And I did the same thing with my little sister. And as time progressed, my little sister, who's married now, when her husband messes up and he comes to her with flowers, she said, you have to do better because my brother does that just because. I changed the standard in my family. So I think that like, yo, understanding who you are and seeing yourself through that lens, and maybe you may not have a big brother or a son to give you flowers, but you can give yourself flowers. Yo, I take myself on dates. I have no problem with it. I'm a cheap date. I know exactly what I want. We're not going to sit there all day and try to figure out. So it's just that because I'm able to love myself. So I think that just really knowing who you are and standing in who you are, I think that matters a lot for young ladies and young men. This is one thing I'll probably tell you is Dr. Mike Murdoch said a man has 2 people inside of him, a king and a fool. You know, you're dealing with a queen when she speaks to the king in you. So a lot of times, we have to really ask ourselves, is this person that I'm hanging around with or that I'm dating, is they speaking to the king or to the fool in me? And that's by choice. So I think that when you really sit back and assess your circle and really say, you know what, I'm going to speak to the king and others, because I know that there's a king in me or a queen in me, I think that helps the self-preservation process and the self-love process on a whole new level.
I just want to jump in real quick because I think it's so important what you said. Like your circle is really important, and you need to pick people and understand if they're givers or takers. So you want to surround yourself with people that are like-minded. Obviously, you don't want to be the most successful person in your circle because I feel like you're going to be a target. And I think people think, especially younger, the youth, that you need to have a lot of friends. And it's, for me, it is quality over quantity.
Yes.
And it's like, what are these people bringing to your life? And can they encourage you? Can they inspire you? My friends, we laugh, we pray, you know, we talk about business investments, you know, everything is not just fluff, and we encourage each other. And that's important. I think the youth, they need to understand that you have to surround yourself with people that are like-minded that want to go on the same journey that you are on, because and sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes you can't do everything. Sometimes you can't go out with your friends because you need to focus on your goals. And if that means you gotta miss a party, then okay, the party is going to be there. It's not going anywhere. So I think that ties into with time management, but I think picking your circle wisely and who you share information with and who you spend your time with is really, really important.
Yes, and just to add to that too, because you just got my mom on my wheel spinning as well, is also that I notice a lot of times is you just said something, know who to share with. I think sometimes when we're hurting, we go to the wrong people, and that's the scary part about it. And it's just that notice they say like if for someone to stab you, they have to be close. So they're like, oh, this person stabbed me in my back, they have to be close in order for that. Really using discernment. Can I share this information with somebody, and can they be trusted? And the best way to do it is just see how they handle everybody else's information. Because I believe, my firm belief, my grandmother always said, hey, Mike, what they do with you is what they'll do to you. So it's like, I think that just really knowing who to share with and who to pour into. And I can speak for you, Jim, when I say this, we're not saying you want to get it right on the first time with your circle at all. We're just saying that it's a process. But Abraham Lincoln said it best. I always learn something from everybody, but usually I learn what not to do. And I think that guys really sitting back and saying like, yo, hey, is this person really called to be in my life? How are they in my life, and what are they bringing to the table? Is because I think that when you really sit back and do it, you understand your process more. And I think that here's what I want you guys to understand most about this is when going forward, you can do anything for your friends. Your friends should value honesty over loyalty. A lot of us are loyal to a fault, and it can hurt us. Like, yeah, you should be loyal, you should be 10 toes, but also be honest. Like, you know, like, I mean, even to the slightest T. If my boy got something bummy on, I'm like, hey, bro, listen, we ain't going out with you having that on. But also, if my boy be doing some things that maybe seem toxic, I'm like, hey, bro, you got to switch that up. Because understand that you represent your circle. Birds of a feather flock together. So I think being honest, but also not being loyal to a fault.
Somebody you want to ask the last question?
Yes. So I did have one question that I wrote. Have you ever felt the most stressed while working? If so, what have you done to overcome that stress?
Say the question again. I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
Have you ever felt like the utmost stress while working? And if so, what have you done to overcome that stress?
Michael, you jump in with that and I'll follow up.
All right. All right. Wow. So have I been stressed about working, and how did I overcome that stress? So for me, one thing I travel a lot, and I'm not gonna hold that. I actually had to talk to my sons the other day about this. I went to their room and I said, yo, listen, I just explained to them what Dad is doing and some of the ventures that I'm doing. And what I really locked in on is remembering my why. My grandmother died when I was in college. Before I went to Mount Pleasant, I went to Virginia State, at HBCU, and I played ball there. And my grandmother passed when we was prepping for the season. I didn't want to be there. I was done up, but I remember before my grandmother passed, I promised her that I was going to take care of the family. And I think that for me, that's what helps me keep going every day, is remembering my why. Remembering why I started, remember why I began. And I think that if anyone, sometimes the what, the how, and what would seems crazy. It seems like we can't make it to the next hour. And I think that, like Martin Luther King said best, if you can run, walk. If you can walk, crawl, or whatever you do, you gotta keep going. And I think that for me is understanding that, you know what, Mike, remember why you started. Remember why you even had this journey, and remember to keep going. Because one thing I would love for my family, anybody to do is to literally say, when they come to my funeral, I believe a couple things will happen at my funeral. People are going to laugh, they're going to tell a joke, or they're going to tell a quote that I said or something like that. I believe one thing is that I want someone to look at my casket and really know that he died in peace. That like, hey, I gave every ounce of my gift, every ounce of affection that I could. And when I feel overwhelmed by work, sometimes I literally just go and I just like sit back and relax, and I just enjoy the time, and I don't mind taking rest. Cause I understand there's a difference between you're sleeping and you're resting. So I think that it's okay to rest and just have fun on Netflix and just do everything or whatever the case may be. But for me, it's remembering why I started and remembering why I'm here, and understanding that I don't believe God makes any mistakes. I don't believe God created anybody by chance. I believe every last person has a purpose, And I believe that's why. And with a big enough why, you'll find a how, no matter what is in front of you.
So for me, with stress, I haven't always gotten it right. So I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. So when I got stressed out, I used to drink a lot. And I think that was like my coping mechanism, but that clearly didn't help me. So I think for me, I just I try and meditate, and I read a lot of books. So one thing I try and really live my life based on is the 4 agreements. And one of the 4 agreements is always do your best. And so I always try and do my best. And sometimes, it's not quite my best, but the key word here is always try, so you always have to try and do your best. And listen, like Michael said, sometimes you are going to get tired and you have to take time to recharge, because if you don't, it can't be all work and no play. That is absolutely necessary. So, if it is, kicking back, watching Netflix or whatever, it's okay to take a second, a time out, because that's so important to continue. And as long as you continue and don't stop, I think that's what's important. And for me, I think, I lost my mom. And so I always want to make my mother proud and make my mother happy. So when I don't feel like it, I think about her and what she would want me to do. And that is enough motivation for me to run plenty of miles. So I just think about, okay, the lessons my mother instilled in me and what she would want for me. And that gives me the motivation to really do anything. I feel like with thinking about my mother and what she would want for me, I can move mountains. So I keep that in the back of my mind and try not to run to the bottle. So,
Yeah. And can I say something then that I want to highlight? I got to give you your flowers while you're living this, because a lot of people won't come on this line and say, yo, I used to run to this. Like, and a lot of times it's like, yo, guys, really recognize that there are bad coping mechanisms. And like sometimes we don't know and we don't understand and we don't get it. And I think that like, yo, we just both mentioned 2 people that literally just impacted our lives. And I know for a fact that, listen, guys, understand this. Jen does great work. I believe I do a pretty good job. Understand there's someone in life that, yeah, they like Jen. Yeah, they may think my side, but they're really waiting for you. They're waiting for your story. It's gonna be your story that's gonna be and what gets them going. And there's somebody out there that's waiting for the exact story, the exact gift that's on your life. So it may hurt. It may feel like you don't want to go a step further, but please don't give in. Because trust me, guys, understand this. Your situation is not your story. And neither is your current circumstances your conclusion. So keep going, because this story could change. Imagine if Jen just said, you know what, this drinking thing, this is me. Imagine me, I went to 8 high school. Imagine if I say, yo, this 8 high school thing, this is me. Me being a failure, this is me. Then we'll never be on this line with you guys. But so I think that, yo, really understand that, like, yo, don't let this end like this. Put it like this, right? When Black Panther died, right? If they would have rolled the credits right when he died the first time, I'd have been like, nah, I need my money back. You're not going to do me like that. Like, I need to see something else. But when he died, it made us want to stay in the movie longer. All right, wait, hold on. What's about to happen? Is he about to come back? Like, what's going to go on? And that's how everybody else is looking at your journey. And you'll be shocked about who you're motivating by just continuing to keep going. Yes, you need to recharge. Yes, you need to do what you got to do. But just keep going, whatever's needed to do.
It was truly inspirational, and definitely touched a whole spot in my heart, because Lord knows sometimes, but I wanted.
We don't always get it right, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we gotta keep moving, and life is about learning lessons, and we make mistakes. It's okay as long as you learn from them. That's what they're meant to do. So it's okay if you make a mistake, and yeah, you just gotta be honest with yourself. So I think it's fine. Nobody's perfect.
Yes.
Right.
And hold the drink. Can I give him some more game real quick? I gotta give him some more.
Well, we got 30 seconds left.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Listen, a mistake and a bad decision are only events. They're not people. Nobody can never be a mistake. You only are a male or a female. That's it. So So never let a moment become your identity. You're not a mistake. You just made one. That's it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
We don't have any time for any, I guess, questions from the audiences or from our audience, but they definitely did ask the questions, and they all, I don't know if you guys can see the chat, but they all were so appreciative, just as in mine, for, you know, your words of wisdom and definitely using your platform and your power as two prominent Black people in our community and pillars in our community. We thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. Guys.
Oh, thank you. I had an awesome time talking with everyone.
Definitely.
So thank you for having me, and happy MLK Day, everybody.
MLK Day.
Same blessing to you guys. Have a blessed day.
Okay. Have a great day. Thank you.